All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about what Terence Crawford's prediction was for the Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas fight. And like me, thinks it's a better fight than a whole lot of people think is. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Thank you so much again for supporting the channel. If you're a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon and select all notifications so you can get notified of whenever we release videos. And also want to ask you, please support our sponsor, BUSR, at busr.ag/Fanon. We run promotions on a regular basis, and you can get a lot of value for your wagering dollar. Just deposit $10, make sure you make a bet, and you'll be good to go. All right, so let's get into this. Terence Crawford is attending a fight this weekend in the UK. And it is a fight that would have been big, really big about maybe 7-8 years ago. The Kell Brook versus Amir Khan fight. And he and his team are going to be in the corner for Amir Khan. Bomac, who's the trainer of Terence Crawford, is training Amir Khan for this fight. And so it should be a good fight. Two fighters that are pretty much over the hill, but I don't care. I'm going to be interested and looking forward to see it. So Terence Crawford was giving a lot of interviews yesterday, provided a lot of insight on a lot of different subjects. And one of the questions that he was asked was around the Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas fight and who he thought was going to win that fight. And his answer was pretty telling, man. He said pretty much was like, look, this is going to be a really good fight, man, and it can go either way. He said he may give a slight edge to Errol Spence Jr., but a lot of people are underestimating Yordenis Ugas and what Yordenis Ugas can bring to the ring for this fight, right? This is not some fight that is just going to be some foregone conclusion. Errol Spence Jr. might actually get tested in this fight. And I think that is, and I've said it, in several videos, I think that is a very fair assessment, that this is a legitimate fight for Errol Spence Jr. and for several reasons. One reason is Yordenis Ugas thinks he can beat Errol Spence Jr. He is not coming in there to lay down, and he is a top-level 147-pounder coming off the win of his lifetime against Manny Pacquiao. He's a very dedicated fighter. He's not somebody that you're going to see do a Teofimo Lopez and, get big-headed and after he wins his big fight and go through all kind of nonsense. Not the case, man. Going to be very, very dedicated. I've seen him in person several times. The dude looks like he is always on weight. I mean, looks like he walks around. He looks like he's walking around the same weight he's walking into the fight on. Just clearly a very, very disciplined dude. Also somebody that is very adept at fighting southpaws, having come from Cuba and being used to fighting a lot of southpaws. Also, he's a body puncher. He's a very, very good counter puncher. He's an intelligent fighter, and he's definitely a top four welterweight. Will give anybody in the welterweight divisions real problems. And I'm telling you, I would say this if this was the case with him fighting Terence Crawford. I think Yordenis Ugas fighting Terence Crawford is a good fight, and Terence Crawford need to be real careful getting in the ring with Yordenis Ugas. He's just not the type of guy that you're just going to blow through, or that's not going to come in there prepared. And he's a big welterweight. He's a strong welterweight, disciplined guy. So this is going to be a fight that if Errol Spence Jr. wins, Errol Spence Jr. should get full credit for doing this, man. This is not some tough touch. And if he does wind up blowing out of Yordenis Ugas, then definitely get his man credit for what the man is doing, because that would be an exceptional feat in order to do that, man. And there are a lot of fighters, certain fighters in boxing that are like that are not easy outs. No matter who fights him, the guy is going to be a tough fight. One guy that I would say, kind of fits that bill is Brian Castano at 154 pounds. The WBO champion at 154 pounds that fought Jermell Charlo to a draw and fought Arislandi Lara to a draw. That guy right there, the way he fights and the tightness of his defense, the selectivity of his punches, that dude right there, and the consistency of his punches. 'Cause he's not only selective with it, he's got a high volume of punches and a very good boxed up defense. That guy is going to be very difficult to look good against. And that has been the case with everybody that Brian Castano has fought. I say the same thing with Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas lost to Sean Porter. Sean Porter beat him fighting on the backside, but on the back foot. But it's not like he blew Yordenis Ugas out. And there's a whole lot of people that really believe Yordenis Ugas won that fight. I just don't happen to be one of the people that believe that he won the fight. I favor the activity and the outboxing of Sean Porter over the aggression of Yordenis Ugas. Even though, you know, I would not besmirch anybody their opinion about who won that fight. He's just a very, very tough fighter, man. And so, you know, there's going to be Errol Spence. In this case, with Errol and Yordenis Ugas, there's a lot of Errol Spence Jr. fans that are thinking he's just going to blow through Yordenis Ugas. And I'm a Errol Spence Jr. fan, like him a lot, but I'm saying that does not look like a scenario where he's going to do that. First of all, Yordenis Ugas is a counterpuncher, just like Danny Garcia is a counterpuncher. He's not going to really be opening himself up a lot for you to really be hitting him and really get off on him, right? And because so the counterpuncher is you catch them, you have to counter the counter with a counterpuncher, or you have to have enough length to really be able to stay outside, jab, and score from the outside on them. And, you know, the size differential between Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas isn't so great that Errol's just going to be able to sit on the outside and jab. Now, I just like Terence Crawford am saying that I believe Errol Spence Jr. is going to win the fight. I don't believe that the fact that Yordenis Ugas, because Yordenis Ugas is not somebody that is going to run away with fights. When he fought Manny Pacquiao is a shorter fighter, and he's a shorter fighter, an older fighter, and who was not preparing for Yordenis Ugas for the majority of the time that he was, you know, in training camp. He was himself training to fight a southpaw, training to fight Errol Spence Jr., and that guy's a last-minute replacement. That is a very difficult last-minute replacement for Manny Pacquiao to get his head around, and I think that had a lot to do with why Manny Pacquiao really couldn't figure him out. I think he didn't have enough time really to game plan for Yordenis Ugas, and if he had, it might have been a closer fight. I would still say Yordenis Ugas was going to win it because I predicted Yordenis Ugas was going to beat Manny Pacquiao just based off the virtue of the freshness and all of that, right? But, you know, just a very, very difficult but a difficult fighter in Yordenis Ugas. However, he's not going to just blow fighters out. And because he's not going to blow Errol Spence Jr. out, it's going to be a give and take type of fight. That's why I would give the advantage to Errol Spence. Also, the fight that I saw Yordenis Ugas have with Omar Figueroa is another reason why I say, man, Errol Spence Jr. is going to be a little bit of trouble for Yordenis Ugas because of that inside game. Yordenis Ugas was a bigger, stronger guy, a much bigger, stronger guy than Omar Figueroa. However, Omar Figueroa was really able to do some nice inside work on Yordenis Ugas, and he doesn't quite have the inside game that Errol Spence Jr. has. He doesn't have the size, the speed, the power, any of that. But anyway, Terence Crawford saying that, man, that this could be an upset. Hey, man, it could be. I don't think it will. I lean towards what Terence Crawford said in the matter. But anyway, that's my take on it. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.